In this video, I'll be picking up where I left off my last project. I'm going to be continuing my French drain project and running some electrical and sprinkler lines under my driveway. If you watched the last video, I ran 2 Schedule 40 pipes under the driveway, one for drainage and one to run utilities through. So stick around and you'll see how I utilize those and how I completed this project. To start, I'm attaching this riser pipe. I'm doing this so I'll still have easy access to the utilities once I build the stone wall in front of it. The small black pipe I've pulled through is for a sprinkler line I'll connect later in this video. And then I quickly took out my water level so I can make sure that the pipe is going to be below the level of the top of the wall. I started laying out some landscape fabric and then quickly remembered I had another use for my water level. I thought it would be beneficial to set some additional grade points throughout the yard. That way I could quickly reference them rather than set the water level back up later. And all I did here was set a nail in the base of the tree so I would have a good elevation reference point for one end of the stone wall. And then I was back to putting the landscape fabric down. For the French drain itself, I'm using this black corrugated drainage pipe, and I've had really good luck with this in the past. I've found that it drains very well. And I've got some examples of that at the end of the video. I'm connecting the pipe to a T, so I can run the pipe in 2 directions and get the most out of this drainage. For the water pipe, I have an in-ground sprinkler system that I'm going to be tapping into, but I wasn't sure that I'm going to be watering my flowers the same amount that I'm going to be watering the lawn, so I chose to put this ball valve on so I could shut this part of the zone off if I thought it was unnecessary. And to make the connection, I am simply just using some barb fittings and some pipe clamps. On to the fun part with the tractor. I can finally spread some of the gravel and get the grade closer to where I want it. And this is what I'll eventually be building my stone wall on top of. With that rough sprinkler work and grading work done on that side of the driveway, I quickly switched over to completing all my electrical outlets. So I'll have power on both sides of the driveway, which is going to be great for doing landscape lighting and Christmas lights and all that other good stuff. My goal was to have 3 outlets on both sides of the driveway, so I'm going to have one at the post light. I'm cleaning out a location here that I'm going to put another post up. And since I had access to it, I thought the easiest way to set this temporary post was just to drop a piece of rebar in the ledge and then put a post on top. And then eventually the fill behind the stone wall is going to keep the post in place. But this was one of those, since I had the tools, why not? It wouldn't take long to do it this way. Otherwise, I might just have set up a little simple cross on the base of the post. You can see in the background I've used these white post sleeves in other projects before, so I'm just going to have a short, about 18-inch post sticking up above the ground once everything's said and done, and I should be able to hide that behind some shrubs and make everything look pretty nice. So with the rebar set in the ledge and a hole in the bottom of the post, I can just drop the 4x4 on top, and it is a little wiggly, but like I said earlier, I'm just going to put some fill around it once the wall's built, and that'll firm it right up. To keep the sleeve from sliding all the way down to the ground, I just set a screw right underneath it to keep it at the right height. And then I can mark a location for the box, mount it, and start wiring it up. And like the riser you saw me put on the other end of the driveway, I did the same thing on this end, so I would have easy access for running future utilities in. So snaking the electrical was probably about a 10-minute project, which was really nice. Now at the moment, I can't think of anything else that I'm going to run through there, but I really do love to future-proof all my projects like this. Just a few more electrical connections to make, and then I'll have power on both sides of the driveway. And then I attach a couple of pipe clamps just to keep everything neat and organized looking. And I'm finally onto my last electrical box, so I'll be all done the wiring in this project. So both sides of the driveway are going to mirror each other. I've got one box in the face of the stone wall, one box halfway down the driveway, and one at the end. And this will make lighting everything really simple. Here we go again. One at the beginning of the stone wall in the face, one halfway down, and in this case, one on my post light. And here's a little bit of proof that the French drain really does work. So I went running outside as soon as we had a heavy rain, and you can see the water pouring out. And then for some comparison, here's ones that I did about 4 years ago. It's about double the length. So the water was really coming out of that French drain, and this is the one that I've got all around the fireplace. And if you want to see how that was built, I've got a separate video on that. So thanks for watching this, guys. Hopefully you found it useful and learned something. And if you stick around, in a future video, I'm going to be building that stone wall.